The breaking point. Commander Elena Santos stood at the viewport of Harmony Station, watching the gleaming ships of the Galactic Confederation dart through space like exotic fish. After 8 years as Earth's deputy ambassador to the Confederation, she still found the view breathtaking. The station, a massive ring structure 20 kilometers in diameter, orbited the neutral world of Centauri Prime, serving as the political heart of the 57 spacefaring civilizations that formed the Confederation. Breathtaking, yes, but increasingly bitter. Commander, the High Council session begins in 15 minutes, her aide, Lieutenant Park, said from behind her. Elena nodded without turning. Another day of being talked over and ignored. The Rigelian Crisis Report is first on the agenda. The Archons are furious about our intervention. Elena finally turned, a wry smile on her face. Of course they are. We only saved 14 million of their citizens. 3 weeks ago, a quantum cascade failure had destabilized the atmosphere of Rigel IV, a major colony world. The Confederation's response fleet had been 12 hours away. Earth ships had been 2 hours away. The Archon representatives had explicitly ordered human vessels to wait for the official response fleet, citing protocols and procedures. Captain Amara Chen of the Ease Resilient had disobeyed those orders. Her ship and 17 other Earth vessels had launched immediately, arriving as the cascade reaction approached critical levels. Through improvised atmospheric stabilizers and emergency evacuations, the Earth fleet had saved 14 million lives. 6 Earth ships had been lost in the process. 143 humans had died. And now the Archons wanted to censure Earth for violating protocols. Elena straightened her midnight blue uniform, the silver Earth emblem gleaming on her chest. Let's get this over with. The High Council chamber was a cathedral to galactic cooperation, or at least the appearance of it. Arranged in 7 concentric rings, the delegate seats rose upward from the central speaking platform. The innermost ring belonged to the founding races, the Archons, Vrex, Meridians, and Saurians, species that had been traveling the stars for thousands of years before humanity had invented the wheel. Earth's delegation sat in the 5th ring, alongside other developing species that had achieved faster-than-light travel within the last 5 centuries. Elena took her seat beside Ambassador Marcus Chen, Captain Amara's father. His weathered face betrayed no emotion, but his eyes burned with the same frustration Elena felt in her bones. "They're going to make an example of Amara," he whispered. "I know," Elena replied, "and I'm done standing for it." The Archon delegate, Terius, floated to the central platform. 8 feet tall with translucent skin that revealed swirling colors beneath, Terius was beautiful in the way a jellyfish is beautiful, elegant, alien, and vaguely dangerous. The Council recognizes the gravity of recent events at Rigel IV. Terius began, his voice resonating perfectly throughout the chamber without any visible amplification. Thanks to prompt action, a catastrophe was mitigated. However, we must address the serious breach of Council protocols by the Earth fleet. Elena's hands tightened on the armrests of her chair. Earth vessels were explicitly instructed to await the arrival of the Confederation response fleet. This instruction was ignored, while the human response was enthusiastic. Their reckless actions endangered both themselves and those they sought to help. 14 human vessels were damaged beyond repair. 143 humans perished. 6 ships, Elena whispered furiously, not 14, and it was 143 heroes. Terius continued. The Council fleet would have arrived with proper equipment and training, potentially saving more lives, and certainly without such casualties. We appreciate Earth's eagerness, but perhaps next time they should defer to those with cooler heads and millennia more experience in crisis response. Murmurs of agreement rippled through the chamber. The Vrex representative, a 6-limbed insectoid, clicked her mandibles in what Elena had learned was their equivalent of applause. The Council proposes a formal censure of the Earth fleet commanders and the implementation of oversight measures for all human vessels operating in Confederation space. Earth representatives may now respond. Ambassador Chen rose to speak, but Elena placed a hand on his arm. "Let me," she said quietly. Chen looked at her for a long moment, then nodded. "Make it count." Elena walked down to the speaking platform with measured steps. She could feel thousands of alien eyes following her movement, some curious, some dismissive, some openly contemptuous. The Earth delegation thanks the Council for this opportunity to address these grave concerns, she began formally. The translator units throughout the chamber converted her words into 56 different languages simultaneously. 76 years ago, humanity joined the Galactic Confederation. We were welcomed as an emerging spacefaring civilization with potential. For 76 years, we have contributed to this body. Our technology runs your communication networks. Our medical techniques heal your wounded. Our soldiers die in your peacekeeping missions. She paused, letting her gaze sweep across the chamber. 3 weeks ago, Earth ships received a distress call from HFY. The atmospheric degradation was accelerating faster than the models predicted. Our captains calculated that waiting for the official response fleet would result in the loss of at least 6 million additional lives. Elena's voice grew stronger. So they launched. They improvised. They died. 143 brave men and women sacrificed themselves to save people who weren't even human. And how does the Confederation repay this sacrifice? With censure, with condescension, with lectures about our enthusiasm and recklessness. The chamber had gone very quiet. For 76 years, the Confederation has benefited from human innovation, human adaptability, and human sacrifice, all while treating us as impulsive children who need constant supervision. You use our faster-than-light communication systems, our quantum encryption protocols, our medical nanites, our atmospheric stabilizers, the very technology that saved HFY. Yet you exclude us from the decision-making bodies that govern their use. Ambassador Chen was smiling now, recognizing what was coming. Elena reached into her pocket and withdrew a small data crystal, placing it on the platform. By unanimous vote of Earth's Parliament, I am authorized to deliver this message. As of this moment, humanity formally withdraws from the Galactic Confederation. The chamber erupted. Shouts, clicks, hums, and whistles, the sounds of 56 species expressing shock. "This is highly irregular," called out the Meridian representative, her feathered crest flaring. "There are procedures for withdrawal." "We have followed all procedures," Elena replied calmly. "The appropriate documents were filed 26 hours ago. You'll find everything in order. Earth and all human colonies are no longer under Confederation jurisdiction." "This is an emotional overreaction," Terius said dismissively, his skin flushing dark purple, the Archean equivalent of a sneer. Perhaps Elena smiled for the first time that day. "But it is our decision to make." She turned to the Earth delegation. "The withdrawal process begins immediately. All human personnel will depart Confederation installations within 48 hours. All human-operated systems will transfer to local control at that time. We're going home." As the Earth delegation rose as one and began filing out, the High Council chamber descended into chaos. Elena's steps felt lighter than they had in years. She caught up with Ambassador Chen in the corridor. "Was that the plan all along?" she asked him. Chen nodded. "Parliament decided 3 days ago. They were just waiting for the right moment. And you provided it magnificently." "They really don't think they need us," Elena marveled. Chen's smile had an edge of steel to it. "They'll learn differently soon enough." Behind them, the first cracks in the Galactic Confederation had already begun to form. Admiral Javier Rodriguez stood on the bridge of the Earth flagship Defiance, watching as the last human transport departed Harmony Station. On the main view screen, he could see the massive ring-shaped station growing smaller as the human fleet prepared for the jump back to Earth-controlled space. "All ships report ready for departure, Admiral," said the communications officer. Rodriguez nodded. "Send the message to all captains. We're going home." As the fleet of 300 human vessels activated their drives, Rodriguez couldn't help feeling a mix of pride and uncertainty. The withdrawal had happened quickly, too quickly for many details to be properly settled. "Do you think we're making a mistake?" asked Captain Lai, his second-in-command. "I think we're finally standing up for ourselves," Rodriguez replied. "The Confederation needs to learn that humans aren't just their servants or their mascots." Across Confederation space, human engineers, technicians, medical personnel, and peacekeepers were boarding vessels bound for Earth. 76 years of integration was being undone in a matter of days. Most humans felt a similar blend of emotions, liberation mixed with apprehension. On Harmony Station, Zora Khan adjusted her camera drone as it hovered near the main promenade. As a reporter for Interstellar News Network, she was documenting a pivotal moment in human history. "This is Zora Khan reporting live as the last human ships leave Confederation space," she said, speaking to viewers across thousands of human settlements. After 76 years of membership, Earth has withdrawn from the Galactic Confederation following a dispute over the Regellian rescue operation. Zara watched as aliens gathered around public screens, their reactions ranging from confusion to mockery. A group of Rex merchants chittered loudly. "Humans always were too emotional," one said. "They'll come crawling back when they realize how much they need the Confederation's protection." Zara continued her report, moving through the crowded station. Initial reactions from Confederation species show little concern over humanity's departure. However, some experts question how this will affect Confederation operations. She approached a Meridian engineer who was frantically working on an open panel in the station wall. "Can you comment on the situation?" The Meridian looked up, her feathered crest flattened against her head, a sign of stress. "The humans manage the main communication networks. Their engineers left basic instructions, but some systems are already showing anomalies." 2 weeks later, in the Grand Council chamber on Harmony Station, the Saurian representative pounded his scaled fist on the table. 6 colony worlds have reported navigation failures. The human-designed jump gate network is becoming unstable without their updates. The Archean representative, Terius, made a dismissive gesture. "We manage before humans join the Confederation. We will adapt." A young Meridian representative spoke up. "Perhaps we should request human technical assistance during the transition period." "Absolutely not," Terius replied sharply. "We will not beg humans for help. Our engineers are fully capable of replacing their systems." But privately, the Confederation's technical teams were growing alarmed. The human withdrawal had revealed a troubling reality. Over the decades, Confederation worlds had become deeply dependent on human-designed systems that they only partially understood. The exodus had begun, and with it, a reckoning that would shake the galaxy to its foundations. The reckoning. Maya Chen wiped sweat from her forehead as she crawled out of the access tunnel. The life support system for the trading post on Proxima Station was finally stabilized, for now. "That's the 3rd critical failure this week," she muttered, packing up her tools. 6 months had passed since humanity's withdrawal from the Galactic Confederation. Unlike most humans, Maya had chosen to stay behind, working as an independent contractor on the neutral trading world of Proxima. As one of the few human engineers still operating in former Confederation space, her services commanded astronomical fees. Krell, the station's Saurian manager, approached with a nervous twitch in his tail. "Is it fixed, Engineer Chen?" "For now," Maya replied. "But your entire environmental system needs a complete overhaul. The adaptive algorithms are degrading without regular updates. More human technology that no one else can properly maintain," Krell hissed in frustration. "The Confederation assured us they could replace all human systems within months." Maya laughed without humor. "Because humans designed these systems to learn and adapt. Without our updates, they're trying to solve new problems with old solutions. It's like asking a child to do calculus." A shadow fell across them. Maya looked up to see an Archean, his translucent skin muted to a dull gray, a sign of extreme stress. "Human, I require your services, the Archon said, his usual arrogance replaced with barely concealed desperation. My diplomatic vessel's navigation system has failed. We cannot complete our journey without repairs. 6 months ago, this same Archon diplomat had publicly dismissed humanity's withdrawal as an emotional tantrum from an immature species. Maya pretended not to remember. My schedule is full for the next 3 weeks, she said casually, but I might be able to fit you in. For priority rates. On Harmony Station, the council chamber was no longer a place of calm debate. Shouting filled the room as representatives argued over dwindling resources and failing systems. The medical nanites are failing across 12 systems, cried the Vrex representative. Hospitals can't treat patients without them. Military vessels are stranded in deep space because the quantum beacon network is destabilizing, added the Saurian war chief. We've lost contact with 17 patrol ships. Terius, once the embodiment of Archon serenity, now showed swirls of agitated purple and red beneath his translucent skin. Our engineers are working day and night to reverse engineer human technology. With no success, the Meridian representative shot back. The human systems are too integrated, too adaptive. They designed their technology to work together in ways we never considered. A junior aide hurried into the chamber and whispered urgently to Terius. The Archon's colors shifted to deep blue. Shock. The Cassiopean colony has gone dark, Terius announced. All 3 million inhabitants. We've lost contact. Silence fell over the chamber. The atmospheric stabilizers, the Meridian representative said quietly. Without the human updates. We need to reach out to Earth, said a voice from the back of the chamber. A young Vrex stepped forward. Before more lives are lost. Terius's colors swirled in conflict. The humans left us. They chose isolation. No, the young Vrex replied. We drove them away. And now we must ask them to return. Back on Earth, the dawn of a new era was well underway. The grand withdrawal had spawned a renaissance of human innovation and expansion. Freed from Confederation restrictions, human colonies were flourishing, developing technologies that had previously been regulated or suppressed. In the presidential office in New Geneva, Earth President Omar Valdez reviewed the latest reports with his advisory council. The Proxima Neutral Zone reports that Confederation vessels are experiencing critical failures at an accelerating rate, said Admiral Rodriguez. Their engineers can't keep up with the degradation of systems they don't fully understand. As expected, nodded Dr. Amara Chen, the hero of Rigel IV, now Earth's science director. They never bothered to really learn how our technologies worked. They just used them and expected us to keep them running. And now, President Valdez asked. Now they're discovering what happens when you treat your engineers like second-class citizens, Alina Santos replied. After the withdrawal, she had been promoted to Earth's ambassador-at-large. Our intelligence suggests they'll reach out soon. The Cassiopean colony failure was the last straw. As if on cue, an aide hurried in. Mr. President, we're receiving a priority transmission from Harmony Station. It's the Archon High Counselor, Terius. President Valdez exchanged looks with his advisors. Put it through. The holographic display activated, showing Terius. The Archon's normally vibrant colors were muted, his posture less straight than in previous communications. President Valdez. Terius began, his voice lacking its usual resonance. I hope this message finds you well. It does, High Counselor. How may Earth assist you today? A flicker of irritation passed through Terius's form at the pointed formality. But he continued. The Confederation wishes to open a diplomatic dialogue regarding the unfortunate separation between our peoples. You mean our withdrawal after being censured for saving 14 million of your citizens? Elena interjected, unable to help herself. Terius's colors darkened momentarily. Yes, that misunderstanding. We believe it would benefit both parties to discuss terms for humanity's return to the Confederation. President Valdez leaned forward. Return. High Counselor, Humanity didn't leave for a vacation. We left because after 76 years, the Confederation still treated us as subordinates rather than equals. Perhaps there were misperceptions on both sides, Terius said carefully. The Confederation has always valued Earth's contributions. Just not enough to give us an equal voice, Elena noted. Terius's colors shifted to conciliatory blue. The Confederation is prepared to make significant concessions. Earth would be granted a seat in the inner ring. Your technological contributions would receive formal recognition. Your military vessels would have autonomous operational authority. All the things we should have had from the beginning, President Valdez observed. The past cannot be changed, Terius said, but the future remains unwritten. Will Earth at least consider returning to the galactic community? President Valdez looked at his advisors, whom nodded slightly. We'll send a delegation to discuss terms. But understand this, High Counselor. Humanity will not return to the old arrangement. If we come back, it will be as equal partners, not as your maintenance crew. Of course, Terius agreed quickly. The Confederation eagerly awaits your delegation. As the transmission ended, Elena turned to the President. They're desperate. The systems are failing faster than they anticipated. Good, Dr. Chen said firmly. Let them understand what they nearly lost. Admiral Rodriguez looked thoughtful. What are we asking for? Beyond the inner ring seat, President Valdez smiled. Everything we should have had from day one. Equal voting rights, technology sharing, both ways, joint command of peacekeeping missions, and formal recognition of humanity's contributions to galactic civilization. They'll resist, Elena warned. They can resist all they want, President Valdez replied. But their systems will continue to fail while they debate. Time is on our side now. 3 weeks later, Elena Santos stood once again in the High Council chamber of Harmony Station. This time, she stood at a new podium, one placed directly in the center alongside the founding races. Behind her, a delegation of Earth's finest diplomats, scientists, and military leaders waited silently. The chamber was packed. Representatives from all 56 remaining Confederation species watched with a mixture of resentment, relief, and grudging respect. For 76 years, humanity contributed to the Galactic Confederation. Elena began. We offered our innovations, our adaptability, and our unique perspective. In return, we were patronized, marginalized, and excluded from meaningful participation. She let her gaze sweep the chamber. 6 months ago, we left. We did not leave to punish the Confederation. We left because we deserved better. In our absence, you have discovered what we already knew, that humanity's contribution to galactic civilization was far greater than you acknowledge. Murmurs filled the chamber, but no one interrupted. Today, we present the terms under which Earth will return to the galactic community. We do not come as supplicants begging for readmission. We come as equals offering partnership. The terms were projected above the chamber for all to see. Earth would hold a permanent seat in the inner ring with full voting rights. Human technology would be formally credited in all official records. Technology exchange would flow in both directions. Human military forces would operate with the same autonomy as the founding races. And critically, the censure over the Rigelian crisis would be formally reversed, with the human casualties honored as heroes of the Confederation. These terms are non-negotiable, Elena concluded. The choice before you is simple. Continue to watch your systems fail, your colonies suffer, and your civilization decline, or embrace a new era of true partnership with humanity. Terius floated forward, his colors now showing a mix of resignation and hope. The Confederation has voted. We accept your terms, Ambassador Santos. Let today mark the beginning of a new chapter in our shared history. As the chamber erupted in applause, genuine this time, Elena felt a weight lift from her shoulders. Humanity had finally claimed its rightful place among the stars, not through conquest or domination, but by simply showing the galaxy what it meant to be human, innovative, adaptive, and unwilling to settle for less than they deserved. The day humanity unplugged had brought the galaxy to its knees. The day humanity returned would lift it higher than ever before. In the corridors of Harmony Station, human engineers were already at work, repairing systems that had degraded in their absence. But this time, they worked alongside alien apprentices, teaching, explaining, sharing. The knowledge would flow both ways now. A new age had begun, an age of true cooperation between humanity and the stars.